So I see a lot of contractors like trying to figure out how to get a $2,000 website built. I mean, you're just not going to get the quality you want.
So in order to get a really good result, you have to know the market.
Yeah.
It's really super important.
And I tell my team very clearly, I say, hey, look, if somebody calls and they say, oh, I was looking for blah, blah roofing. I'm like, don't turn them away. Say, hey, well, do you need a roofing quote?
It might be networking, it might be home shows, it might be referrals, it might be door flyers, things like that. But when you have a marketing budget, you can actually test out those things without the stress.
Welcome, everybody, to the Trust Business Podcast. I have a very special guest today, Ryan Tanner.
Hey.
All right. Ryan's awesome. You do all sorts of things, but you do mainly now consulting and marketing for contractors, which
Correct.
is awesome because obviously my space, what I'm in. So we're going to talk about how to market as a contractor. So first and foremost, thanks for coming on, Ryan. Talk to us. Tell us about your backstory, who you are, where you come from, and stuff like that.
I originally started making websites in the year 2000. So 24 years ago.
Y2K.
Yeah, right? So been all around the map since then, doing different things. About 5 years ago, went full circle back specifically into ads, emails, Facebook, Google, those kinds of things, getting great results for clients. And then all sorts of spaces, mostly focusing on leads, and lead type clients, so dentists, doctors, contractors, lawyers, things like that, and then doing great. And now just really recently started focusing down to the contractor space to help out those guys who are helping out the...
Why did you decide to do that? Why did you decide to niche down into just contractors?
So in order to get a really good result, you have to know the market.
Yeah.
It's really super important because you have to speak a message to a person, not to just throwing up an ad like some people think. Why didn't you get results? Well, because you have to speak a message to a person. Yeah. If you know what those people are searching for a roofer or for, a window replacement or those kinds of things that I'm targeting, then it becomes very easy. The more clients I can get, the more benefit I can give to those clients because I learn from each individual audience, ads, performance, emails, things like that. I know what those areas are doing, what those people are responding to, and I can advise clients like, look, don't do this campaign, do this campaign. And so I can't do that if I'm just spread thin all over.
Right.
The second you can get niched down, the better results you can get.
Right. Get down and get really good at the one area rather than try to be okay at everything kind of a thing.
Correct.
Cool. Smart. Awesome, man. What's, marketing for contractors, doing that a lot. What's something that you see, I don't know, maybe a lot of contractors doing or not doing that you kind of go, you scratch your head as somebody who's in marketing who does this full time, and something you would say, just like a tip, like, hey, start doing this?
Actually, that's something I thought about a lot. So it's treating your business as a business and doing an actual budget, not for, like a freelance, like I'm going to go replace doors, how much money can I make?
Yeah.
It's treating your business as a business and actually doing a financial planning and actually having a set marketing budget. So one thing I see that it's been the most stressful thing dealing with clients doing marketing for them is when they don't have a marketing budget. When you don't have a marketing budget, you don't have that wiggle room to test out different campaigns, see what works, see what doesn't. It might not be what I do. It might not be Google Ads and SEO and things like that. It might be networking, it might be home shows, it might be referrals, it might be door flyers, things like that. But when you have a marketing budget, you can actually test out those things without the stress. You say, okay, good, I'm grossing $50K a month. I have, 6 staff and I have my trucks and all this stuff and I'm trying to take home this money. A common mistake is like, well, I have my money I'm trying to make, instead of like, okay, cool, I need to set aside $5,000 a month to marketing, and what I pay myself is going to be less, sure, but I'm going to grow the business and I'm going to treat the business, as an entity, and actually apply business policies to that. And then you're able to then work with marketing agencies, marketing professionals, or have your own in-house marketing, however you want to do it.
Yeah.
But then you can actually treat it. And that's been, of all the contractor clients I've dealt with, that's been one of the hardest things to overcome is their inability to escape. It's kind of like what's that guy's name? It's a 4 quadrants, and you have you have an employee, you have a freelancer, you have a business owner, and you have an investor.
Okay.
And moving from freelancer to a business,
Yeah.
and then growing that to that category.
Interesting. Yeah. I definitely see that a lot. Not, sometimes when I don't know, you come from the physical side of the contracting for sure, and you're just really starting and you're small, it can be really scary, or I don't know, just not sure what to do or where to go, where to put your money at. It's scary to give, I don't know, $2,000 a month or $5,000 or whatever it is to a marketing agency or a marketing consultant or someone to help you with that. It can be a little bit scary. It's like, and also the trust factor, like, are they going to do enough to be valuable enough to take that in? Are they going to do everything possible? There's a little bit of a concern there. One thing I would add into that ties into that is, and this is the most basic thing, is the websites. I see a lot of contractors who are like actually decent size or doing a decent fair amount of work, but go on their website, and just their website, oh my God, it's from 2010 and it's just not it anymore. It's just not where it needs to be. And I'm not saying my website is perfect, far from it, but I definitely, when I decided I was going to set on a mission to build the company, it's one of the first things I did. I said, let's make the website as good as possible. Let's make it so that it's responsive, so that it'll, convert really well. I mean, that's what everything is going to funnel through. So I see a lot of contractors like trying to figure out how to get a $2,000 website build. I mean, you're just not going to get the quality you want for a budget that small in like the website world, for example. And it's the same thing for marketing or marketers, right? If you're gonna go ahead and hire out for marketing, which most contractors have to do when they're small, especially because they might have not the expertise themselves to create a Google ad, create a Facebook ad, do these things. Like, it's a lot of work and it's a lot to learn. So, same thing as you don't want to cheap out on your website. You don't want to cheap out on your marketer. You want to find a marketer who's good. They're not going to necessarily be cheap, but if they're good, they're going to show you actually what they're bringing in, the results they're bringing in, so you can track it, and so that then, you can see that you're actually making money out of it. Like, if it's a good marketer, they're going to show you, that there's a return happening and the leads are hitting and things like that. But one thing that you, I'm sure, would bring up is that then there's also the contractor's role and responsibility in, like, hey, taking the leads, and then how do you actually convert that traffic? That's a whole nother skill and a talent. But just cutting corners on like the fundamental things that will allow your business to bring in traffic, like a website, like your marketing. It's just, that's not the place you want to cut your corners on. So
Right. Yeah, and actually right in line with that, that's something that I have as one of my own core values, which is I don't want to just do marketing. I want to give a result to the client of closed sales, closed leads, and actual valuable customers. So in order to do that, I have gone one step further, and I've actually gotten a CRM together, a customer relation management software, that tracks the leads and helps you convert those into sales with automated text messages, estimate follow-ups, giving quotes, email marketing. If they say no, it'll put them into a drip sequence over 12 months that'll just stay in touch with them gradually, all tailored to your brand to help you facilitate all the steps that are necessary to get that close. And it also helps provide transparency to you as the individual receiving the marketing, and to me as the marketer, of what is happening with those leads. All the conversations get recorded in it from your sales personnel, from you, whatever. So that is one, because I can't stand when I just say, here's, okay, I see 12 leads that came in this last few weeks, and they're like, okay, well, what happened with it? But if I say, here's 12 leads, 3 of them turn into real estimates, 1 of them closed for, an $18,000 project, you paid me $2,000 or your ads or whatever, and you got $18,000 back, congratulations.
So we converted.
So then you're like, whoa, so if I put $2,000 and I got $18,000 back, why not do $4,000? Then it becomes a very logical thing at that point. So that's one thing that I've done also to go one step further with the ads marketing. Yes, good Google ads, good Facebook ads, quality creatives, quality targeting, but also quality tracking.
Right. Yeah, the tracking is so important, and some little things that you're helping with on that CRM, which are so key. It's just how quick are you getting back to the person, and then if they don't answer, are you texting them, and then are you emailing them, and then are you calling them again in an hour or two? Because someone might not be available right then, but then call them in 2 or 3 hours.
It takes an average of 8 touch points to get someone on the phone.
Is that really the case?
That's a statistical
8
number.
touch points to get on does on the
that's
phone.
very
it's the
broad.
Average across all industries,
But
all
8
things.
touch points. Are you calling and texting 8 times? No. Well, you spent $100 for that
Right.
that Windows lead.
Right.
So you want to be milking that.
Right. And then, this goes to another thing too, because there's multiple factors. Okay, so there's getting the lead and getting going, but then there's the sales process. And are you selling the job for enough so that, you can justify and you can afford, like, have a marketing budget and do these things? And there's a lot of contractors out there who, in my opinion, just don't charge enough. Not that, you want to charge a lot. You want to bring a lot of value to your client. And part of that is you have to be able to cover those costs. So, if you're charging that $18,000 job and you're only making 3 or 4, like, you're just not going to have enough to cover that marketing cost. So I definitely, promote to, like, hey, make sure that you're, in your pricing and your sales pitch, you're pitching your value, pitching everything you bring to the table, and bring a lot of value so you can price jobs accordingly, so you can, like, cover your marketers, cover having a good website.
Exactly.
Doing things like this. That's another mistake I see, is just not charging enough. It's even something that sometimes my team, I'll look at a deal and I'll be like, man, don't, whatever. It's a constant process, but that's the other key, I would say.
Totally. Absolutely. Yeah. And then another thing that is a common fall down that a lot of marketers have as agencies dealing with clients that I just can't stand, and I really have as another one of my core values, is speed of response in responding to the client's needs and wants, and speed of taking action on those, to correcting things on the ads, correcting things on the emails, putting things into place, spinning up new campaigns. All those kinds of things are, I find that it's a lot of agencies have a very slow response time.
Yep,
I hate to say it as such a general term like that, but I would say a good majority.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'm like, do it now. It's better to just get it done.
Yeah.
The campaign is up and running. You'll get more from that effort than trying to nitpick all the little details, because you can correct those still.
Right. You can always refine things. Right.
But you want to get those up. That's one thing. And then also really understanding and tracking with what the client needs and wants, like stepping in the client's shoes and doing all ads and marketing from their position. That goes without saying. A lot of agencies do that really well, but that's something that I truly believe in. I have to be Robin for Trust Roofing.
Right.
I have to, if I have a tree removal in Minnesota, I was just telling you right before we started the camera that, I have this tree removal up in Minnesota, this guy, and so I have to be him when I'm writing the ads.
Right. Get into his space and go, okay, how does he want to communicate to his clients? What is his positioning as a company? What are the values they bring to the table? Like, you have to learn and understand the company in order to market for them, like you were saying. But that's why, again, it's smart that you niche down, because now you're, rather than being so segmented, you can really figure out what do contractors, what's important to clients who are looking to pick a contractor.
Correct.
So I think that's super, super smart. Okay, right now, what do you feel like, I don't know, between like Google and between Facebook ads, what do you feel like if someone was going to start doing a marketing campaign running ads, which of those do you think is better, or do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, so it depends what your service is, what you do. So if it's a highly searched consumable type service, then Google ads are better. So for example, gutter cleaning, or pressure washing. A Google ad would perform better than a Facebook ad. Sprinkler repair. I have a guy who does sprinkler repair. So that one it's like, I need it. I have a geyser coming out every time the sprinkler turns off. I have to turn them off. I need it now. Yeah. Roofing also would be similar, but believe it or not, people aren't aware of it quite as much. So I find that for you, the Facebook ads are doing better. So it's something that needs to build awareness about that service.
Yeah.
Then you are going to want to do a Facebook ad. For example, I have another guy, he does kitchen remodeling. So I do a Google ad and I do a Facebook ad. Facebook ads are doing better because I can show it. I can put up a video of fly through of their kitchen that he does. We can show it and enlighten them. And
there's definitely a lot more ways to get creative on Facebook. I mean, you can literally create a video of whatever you want. You can create survey option. I mean, you can do a lot with a Facebook ad, whereas a Google ad is really just going to be, pixel on the screen, name your company and website, a little bit of text, right? But the Facebook ad, you can get so creative. You can figure out with a video, like, how can I grab the attention of the person on their feed? What is it that I need to showcase? And I was watching someone who does a lot of Facebook ads and marketing, all this stuff, and literally they would test, like split test, just a different intro to the same ad, and just changing the first, I think it was like 3 or 4 seconds of what was shown. Other than that, the rest of the video was the same. It was a different, like, little start, and just the change of that changed the results. It was incredible fold, like, just ridiculous. Like, this one just performed crazy good, and this one just and it was just based off of bringing the viewer's attention into that video. So you can definitely get creative like that with Facebook, and just with like cool content, or a cool way you're starting it, or a cool message, or cool delivery, or editing, or maybe like a kitchen shot, whatever, and really, oh, what's this, and get people interested in it. Google Ads, it's more just a text, and if they're searching for it, they're going to say, oh, roofer, oh, good roofer, good click. That's kind of how it works.
Yeah, Facebook, you have to reach out.
Yeah.
Google, you have to catch.
Yeah.
That's the difference between the two.
Yeah.
So Google, you're getting them when they're looking for you.
Yeah.
You're sitting in the store shop with the door open. Facebook, you're out in the street, hawking, like, with the spinning the sign kind of thing,
Okay, there you go. I have a question for you. I had somebody tell me recently, and I didn't agree with them, but they told me, and I want you to tell me your opinion. They're saying, because I run on my Google Ads a search organically. So if somebody types in trust roofing, I have myself going toward that. And they said, oh, I don't think you need to do that, because someone's typing in trust roofing, they're already looking for you, they're going to go find your website, and they're going to click it, and blah, 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 and you're spending extra money on that. I don't think you need to spend. So I was thinking about that. I wanted to see what your thought process was on that.
So if your SEO is good, you don't need to do that. Mm-hmm. However, if you have competitors who are targeting your keywords, you need to do it.
And I 100% do.
Yeah.
All the roofers around here target each other's stuff. And I tell my team very clearly, I say, hey, look, if somebody calls and they say, I was looking for blah, blah roofing. I'm like, don't turn them away. Say, hey, well, do you need a roofing quote? And I change that pattern, and all of a sudden, they start to get a lot more, because people would search that, and then my ad guys are running my ad, and it appears, and then they click, and it's a funny little game. I know, it all depends on the audience. I know for me, if I search on Facebook or on Google, I immediately scroll past the ads and I go to the organic. Like, that's just how I shop. That's how I search. Yeah, like, isn't that funny that the people who do this marketing and pay for it don't even use it? That we're the ones who ignore the damn stuff?
But at the same time, I have found so much through good ads. People have this resistance to ads and marketing. Yeah. And
Facebook ads are a different story. Like, I've bought stuff off Facebook ads all the time.
100%. Yeah. People get resistive about tracking and Facebook and privacy, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. That's in your best interest. Because do you remember back in the early 90s when you were a kid, you're getting just whatever the screen showed. There was no filtering, there's no nothing. It's just whatever it was with the ad that came up, and they were trying to be as smart as they could with the data they have. Right. But on Facebook, I could literally go to a store, say, I need to buy a new side table because, my kid, wrecked it or whatever. I don't know. So I'm search on Ashley Furniture, and then next thing I know, I'm getting side table. I'm like, that's the one I want, and I couldn't find it anywhere else, and this company just put it there. Yeah. And I'm
That's an interesting viewpoint on that. And it's true, though, because it actually does provide that help in that thing of like...
Good marketers are changing marketing from this gross generality to an actual, like, a useful tool for the consumer. Yeah. Like, useful. So that's what I think is cool.
It's true. It makes things a lot more efficient, too, because if I'm a table guy and I'm just, like, throwing these crazy table ads on the TV at everybody constantly, it's like, okay, but that's a lot of money to throw out there. Whereas if I could get them targeted and niched, at least now that message, that work that goes into creating it and the cost to do it, I really have it hitting the right people. It's more efficient, I guess, just as a overall culture that we're just getting the messages in front of the people that want to see it, basically.
Yeah. So, and you get to the point as a consumer where you get an incorrect one, like it's a lingerie, and you're like, I'm a dude, and then you instinctively think, oh, the marketer sucks. Oh. Just like deep down, you're like, these guys don't know what they're doing.
I've never gotten the lingerie yet, but I don't know.
It's not that.
I don't know what you're searching. No, I'm kidding. Cool, man. Let's see. What is your one thing I'm into a combination approach. So like kind of a blanketing approach. I do Facebook, I do Google, I do that stuff. But then I also really like to build a brand the trucks. get door hangers out,
Oh,
get mailers out, yard signs out, physical promotion, network. We go to networking groups and we sit. I see some contractors like, oh, you hate networking groups. And this is my opinion. I mean, you probably hate networking groups because you don't work them well. You know what I mean? Just like being real. Or some people are like, oh, I hate, what's the other one I've seen people? Oh, another one. And these leads I hate, like Angie's Lead and Home Advisor. People hate those. And just to be clear, I hate them too. I don't use them because it's just too much money, right? Because you're paying them to do it. Anyway, it's just too much, the cost. But I remember I built this business from the beginning off of them. And the main successful action for me was if I got the Angie's, the Home Advisor lead, I would just call it in like 30 seconds. Immediately, boom. That speed. If I waited 5 minutes, my chance to convert it, just went down, down slope. So anyway, going on a little bit of a tangent there. But I like to do a multifaceted approach across the board. So what's your opinion on like physical and stuff like that on top of digital?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you said one thing that's super crucial, which is building a brand.
Yeah.
So the brand is what goes beyond you. So the brand message, the brand voice goes beyond what you do. So if you do an ad and you have zero brand, you'll get the exact return that you put into it.
Right.
So you pay X and you get Y. But a brand, you can pay X, get Y, and then also get Z on the side. It goes beyond. It's something that carries further. So a brand is super important. What you've done with Trust Roofing is awesome because you're just brand. And now I'm at the point where I'll be driving, and I'm up by Oldsmar, so I'll be driving. I'll see one of your truck come. I'm like,
Yeah.
And it's that, and I immediately assume Trust Roofing. I know what it's all about. I work for you, so it's not a big deal. But that's what also happens for the customers.
Right.
So that's incredibly important. So anything you can do to start building a brand, it is expensive. It does take time.
Yeah.
A lot of guys can't confront the amount of time that it takes to do it.
It takes a lot of time. It's huge upfront investment, and you don't start seeing the returns until, it takes a while. Like I feel like I'm just starting to maybe see the returns from that brand, but it's starting to get better. And I know that in 5 years, it's just going to be off the hook.
In 5 years, you could go to Tahiti for a summer and come back, and the business. I don't know about internally, but the brand will still be there. Correct. And it'll still be drawing in business just from the name.
Correct.
And that's what a brand does. So yes, you're absolutely correct. And doing it, there's the only way to do it really effectively is, like you said, omnipresent strategies.
Yeah.
That's the term for it in marketing.
Yeah.
Omnipresent strategy. But that's where you have a social media account that you're just blasting all the time. You have your email marketing going out. You have a great website. You have your SEO happening. You have rocking and rolling and moving.
Your guys wear shirts.
You have the guys wear shirts. You're doing the door hangers every time you go to the job. You pummel the neighborhood.
Pummel them.
You have your little stakeouts that you put out the yard signs, and the trucks wrapped, and
I want to start a new one on like higher end and neighborhoods are nice or whatever. Is like set up a nice tent. It's for the guys to go under and have shade, eat their lunch or drink their waters, but then also set up like a little table with some promotion, and then if the sales rep or the project manager wants to sit there and do some work on their laptop, people could drive by, see the tent, and sit down. I've seen a lot of other roofers do that, and they just talk about that strategy a lot.
That's an interesting. I haven't heard of that one. That's a good one.
There's a lot of unique things that you can do. So anyway, okay, man, awesome. Well, I think that's good. You're amazing at marketing. You're good at what you do for sure. If somebody in the audience is interested in using you for home services or their home services business, or maybe they're interested in starting one up, but they wouldn't know how the marketing side would go and stuff, what's the best way to contact or reach out to you?
Tanner Consultants. That's my website. So tannerconsultants.com. Or you just email me, Ryan@tannerconsultants.com.
Awesome.
I respond 24/7.
Tanner's very responsive. He's awesome. We'll put that email and that website down in the description. Thank you so much for taking the time and jumping on, Ryan.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.